Listen, bro.
I don't get it, man. Somebody got to explain this shit to me. I just don't. I don't understand. I really don't.
You
You
know,
know.
I don't understand it either. To a point, it's man. The thing I don't get, and I don't know if I said it, here before or whatever. The thing I don't get is they complain all the time about prices being too high, jobs being sent to Mexico and Canada and China. The one thing they don't never do is look in that mirror. Because ain't nobody in that mirror look like us.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't send no jobs to China. We ain't send no jobs to Mexico. We ain't send no jobs to Canada. We didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the people, you kicking the people out that did nothing to you, and the people that you want to stay here are the ones that's kicking you in your ass
Mm-hmm.
daily.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to face the fact that people that look like me, or not like me, like them, are the ones who put them in the position that they're in today. I didn't have the power to take GE and send GE products over to China to have them made. I didn't have that, and nobody that looked like me had that kind of power.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start to talk about what's not right and what's wrong, then you got to look at yourself. You got to look at yourself. And as I said last week, I was talking about how things how they get it really construed about who they should be uh uh sending their anger to. Who should be receiving their anger? Not me. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. So that's my thing, man. I can't get down.
Yeah.
We take
Well.
it back to the beginning. You know, I mean, they've been stealing since they got here. Hell, they took from the Native Americans, took their damn land, then turned around and gave them a piece and say you can have this, then robbed them of that, which they called the Louisiana Purchase. No, you ain't purchased shit. You took it.
Mhm.
You ain't purchased a damn thing. And then you want to tell people that look like me, we don't want to hear about your history. No, you don't want to hear about my history because you don't want your history to come into play.
Right. Right.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good now. I'm all right now. I'm
No, I
back.
mean,
I'm back. I just hear this all the time about what somebody else did. Let's talk about who really did it.
mm,
I go back to um the 80s. Well, I'm gonna say the late 70s. And I'm pretty sure I've said this before about how in the late 70s, my mother and my stepfather worked for Chrysler, and they were laid off for like 2 years. That was when the auto industry was down. You had to have odd and even numbers to get gas and all of that stuff, right? So then Lee Iacocca came and he said, "Look, if you pay me $1, I'll turn the company around." All right, cool. He did that. Everybody went back to work. The K car exploded and everything is moving and grooving. Then you had a sucker that took over at the Lee Iacocca that sold 51% of the goddamn company to Germany, right? To German to Mercedes. So now Chrysler had nobody in America had no say anymore because they had 51% of the company. So they made all the things. Then they sell it to Fiat. So who did that? It wasn't a person that looked like me. Chrysler's American built. It's American automobile industry or company. I didn't do it. Let's look at what really happened. Greed of a white man.
You're right. Well, you say you don't know how they can look at themselves in the mirror. I call them damn vampires, man. They don't look in the mirror because they can't see the fucking reflection. You know, they can't see themselves, man. All this shit they do. You know, but
They don't want it. They don't want it. In their mind, that's not a reflection.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're talking about reflecting on things in the past and how they occurred and things like that. To them, that's an inherited thing. You know what I mean?
No,
So
they still
it's
playing
funny.
this. They still playing this damn replay of Obama wearing a tan damn suit. I'm sick of that this week too.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to replay something, let's replay. Where the hell is that portion of that son bitch's ear at? That supposedly got shot off. Replay. Let's replay that.
But you got to also remember, Bobby, they control everything. So from the inception, using technology, they controlled everything. So they were able to limit, what people saw, heard, and things like that. Now with the explosion of technology has always been a double-edged sword. It's good and it's bad, and it's equal. It's 50-50. Because technology now, see, the United States, they used to be able to control everything from the media through government and whatever, you know what I'm saying? But now with technology, the rest of the world can peer in and see how this country operates. It's just like people in places like Iran, in the Middle East, they got social media now. They can see how the rest of the world lives. Before they didn't have that view. Now they have that view, which drives their understanding of what they have and what they don't have. And it also, results into them thinking, why don't we have it? And we should have it. You can't, what Bobby's saying, the flip side of what he's saying is, you look at the trip to the moon that just happened recently. How are you going to celebrate exploring space and doing all these things and talk about exploration and how advances, we are and what we can do in space, and yet you still got, you know, 18th century policies that you follow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you call hypocrisy.
There's no way. There's no way. They want to throw God out there all the time. There's no way on God's green earth that anyone should be hungry. No
Mm-hmm.
one should be homeless, and no
Mm-hmm.
one should be hungry.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no daggone way.
Yep.
There's no way that should be going on. And
It's
then
greed.
this some bitch gonna talk about we can't afford to pay for daycare and preschool and this, that, and the other. No, you can't afford to pay for it because you taking it. You
Yeah.
holding on to it, so you can't afford to pay it.
Yeah, it's greed, man. It's all that greed shit. But look, before we get too deep, I see Colonel and Rodney made it in. Y'all doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. My internet was slow. I thought I couldn't get on tonight.
Oh, okay.
I finally got in.
How you
Everybody,
doing?
they picking on you, man.
That's
They,
okay.
hey, see, you real close to DC, so they get you first.
Mm-hmm.
They'll shut your shit down first, cause you real close.
I retired from the state of Maryland and the city of Baltimore, so they can't touch my money unless the city and the
No,
state
I'm talking
go
about
broke.
they send their signals to shut your internet down
Oh
because
yeah,
you
yeah.
real
Oh
close.
yeah. I'm sure they everything I type on my Facebook. I'm sure I didn't got banned from Facebook so many times, brother. They don't ban me no more. They just don't post let it post no more. So I mean, whatever they do is fine with me.
you kind of
I
you
should get
kind
banned a money at a time, man, for real.
You kind of
I
radical,
pulled up
man.
to
I tell you that.
one time. They shut my shit down for 2 months.
Yeah, you a little radical, man. I ain't gonna lie about that. Yeah, sometimes I be afraid to respond to your shit, man. As
I don't care.
I may not want to
What they
touch
gonna
this
do
one.
to me, man? I'm retired. What they gonna do to me?
That's
Yeah.
where I'm at, Rodney. Listen, I
Mm-hmm.
don't give a damn no more. Listen, I'm tired of holding back.
Mm-hmm. How you doing, Carl?
You started at 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't but so many minutes late.
You all right? You ain't never late, man. Shit. As long as you
Yeah.
show up, you ain't late. You ain't never late. But look, I want to ask. I want to ask Rodney a question. I like to pick on Rodney for some reason. Rodney, let me see. Let me get my thing up here right quick. I want to ask you this question, man, and your answer, if you want to answer, it may help somebody, man. Let me see. 2018. Does the name what the kid's name, man? And Anton Black. That sound familiar to anybody?
Nah, not offhand.
What about you, Bobby? Anybody?
Anton Black?
Yep. What about Officer Webster, Dover, Delaware?
Oh, yeah. That's the one got kicked in the face.
He kicked the brother. He kicked the brother in the face.
Kicked in the face?
Yes.
He's the officer that kicked the brother in the face.
Green something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, Anton Black, that was a 19-year-old kid that he was involved. They moved him to Goldsboro, Delaware. Y'all ever heard of Goldsboro, Delaware?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Goldsboro.
Yeah, that when Dover fired that police officer,
Yes.
he got a job at Goldsboro, Delaware.
Maryland.
Goldsboro, Maryland.
Maryland. Was that what it is?
Yeah,
Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they hired him there.
That's right up. You know how we used to go to how we used to take the back road to
13.
No, to 301.
Yeah, 301.
Yeah. That's right over there.
That's where Goldsboro is,
Yeah.
Okay. So the mayor hired him for that little town because he said he didn't want anybody to come through Goldsboro, and I guess, just trying to tighten the city up for some reason. So the brother and 19-year-old brother, Anton Black, it was on national news where that a cop got into a confrontation with that kid, man, because he had some lady called in and said there was a kid had another younger kid in a chokehold, but they were kind of horsing around. Webster showed up, and the kid took off running. He chased behind him home and caught him going into his house. Him and another guy, a biker, he was on a motorcycle, had a Confederate flag on the back of his helmet, and some other civilian. They wrestled this kid down, man, and the kid died. He died from that confrontation with those.
Did they choke him out?
Well, I guess they choked him out, man, but they were on top of him. You know how you cops do, man. I mean, not putting it on you,
Well, basically, they put their knees in his chest and all that to choke him out.
Yeah, asphyxiation or whatever. Yeah, look it up.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
they're having a mental health issue or something.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
So what I want to ask you, man, and I deal with some young kids, man. I got a 16-year-old grandson now, and he got a couple of brothers that I deal with them sometime, take them fishing and stuff like that. And, they come to the house and we talk and stuff. And I always tell them, man, look, let me tell you something this is just my opinion. And I tell them with police, I said, man, look, they like damn dogs to me. If a dog run up on you, he gonna bark at you, trying to get your ass to run so he can attack. I said, don't run from the police. I want you to be afraid of them. Be afraid of them because they're fucking monsters. That's what I call them. That's me, right?
I know.
But so you being a police officer, And what you may say, it may help somebody. How should these young brothers, man, deal with the police when they approach?
Well, the best thing I can give them, because you don't know what type of cop you're dealing with, is cooperate and ask for names, ask for badge numbers. The good thing now, like I said, most cops are carrying body cams. Now there are some officers that don't, but Maryland made it a state law. I know, because the last job that I had, I retired 2 years ago, was at a college campus, and the last year we were there, we got them because by the end of 2026, every agency in the state has to have body cameras worn and to film each encounter with citizens, whether it's traffic, going to somebody's home for a domestic incident. So they can't get away with what they used to could get away with because the body camera ain't gonna lie, the audio ain't gonna lie. So, but yeah, before then, like I said, back in the 80s, they had none of that stuff, none of that,
Mhm.
and everything went on. And once it got over, or the situation, no matter how bad it turned out, you know, they got down. Everybody wrote the same story and stuck to the same story. And when they got to court, or whoever got charged, the judge threw it out because everybody's story was consistent. Then when they go talk to witnesses, and if the victim happened to still be alive after all of that, then they're going to find some kind of inconsistency in his story. But when they have internal affairs is to clear the cops. That's what the internal affairs do. You
Mhm.
know, um, sometimes they can't because the evidence is so overwhelming that you can't lie your way out of a death. Somebody's going to be held
Mhm.
accountable at most of the time, but there are
Mhm.
times it's not.
So you saying that so it's mandatory now as far as you know that
In
when
Maryland, yep,
they
every police agency has to have body cam by the
and they
end
have
of
to
this year.
and
It's a state law.
they have to
Even,
turn them
even
on.
even if you only got a police department with 3 officers,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter.
And they have to turn them on
They
anytime
have
they
to be
make
turned on. As a matter of fact, when the camera system that we had,
Comes on.
they automatically start recording.
Start
They start
recording.
recording. If you hit your lights on your car, you hit your siren. If you near another officer and his camera's recording, it automatically turns yours on.
Yeah.
And it's just a little button on your chest. You just press the button, hold it for 3 seconds. Boom, it's recording. And
Mhm.
actually, it'll start recording when you first get out the car, but it won't continue recording unless you press the button. So it'll record, but you won't have audio. But you need to press the button in order to get the audio to come out. So,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and those same cameras are used throughout Maryland. Everybody pretty much got the same system.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah.
So stuff they used to get away with, you can't anymore. So yeah, so when they had situations where um, like they had a situation in years ago in Maryland, and I knew the officer that was involved. Um, Kids bailed out of a stolen car about 2 in the morning. All of a sudden, they chasing them. A shot rang out. Nobody knew where the shot rang out from. And the kid wound up with a bullet in him. They took
Mhm.
everybody's gun, did forensics on it. It didn't match anybody's gun. But this was back in the 80s.
Mhm.
The gun never turned up, but they knew he was only being chased by cops. So somebody had another gun.
Mhm.
And gun never showed up. They did all they could do, and everybody walked. Everybody got off because
Wow.
Wow.
even back then the law was just because somebody running, you can't shoot them. The only
Mhm.
way you can shoot somebody for running is if they shot and killed another cop and you've seen it, or they're so dangerous and they're wanted for murder or something like that that you can't let them escape.
Mhm.
But the mere fact that you're running out of a stolen car, out of building that you burglarized, that's not enough to shoot somebody.
Right. I give you. It's crazy. I give you a little karma. So, um, as a young man growing up in Jersey, is a real racist cop. Right. He had when I was younger, he had uh shot a black dude in the back. But what he said was he tripped and the gun went off. All right, no problem. So later on down the line, things was going on with him, going on. He's back and forth. So now he retires. Well, he retires and he gets caught up in some BS trying to do some illegal stuff. He got caught and he had to go to jail. Well, guess who he had to deal with? Bobby Jones.
Oh, is that right?
And when he came in, because he was a cop, they put him in shoe where
Protective custody.
Where your boy was at, Epstein. So they put him in there. I'm working shoe. I go straight to his damn cell. I say, "You remember me?" He said, "No, sir." I said, "I remember you." And I treated him like shit the whole time he was in there.
Good for you.
His family came to see him, right? They went, "Oh, well, he needs to do." He a goddamn inmate. He get the same treatment everybody else get. Well, he can't. No, he can't smoke. And by this time, they had stopped smoking, and he was a smoker. No, he can't smoke. I don't give a damn. When that some bitch left, when he left out there, he looked at me. He was like, "I don't never want to deal with that nigga no more." And I'm glad, because I ain't want to deal with your ass either. And then I came home, I told the whole neighborhood, like, "Yo, yeah, it's punk butt up there." Yeah, and it's just, man, that kind of stuff right there fumes me. But yeah, I got him. I got him for everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Recently, there was an incident in Hartford where a young black man, I guess his sister, called the police because a young black man was having a mental issue, and I guess he had a knife in his hand. And this is all on camera, and there's 4 or 5 policemen standing around the guy. Drop the knife, drop the knife. And he's not being aggressive, but he still has a weapon. So, and this was probably a month ago. One of the police officers shot him. I think 9 times or something like that.
Jesus, man.
They had that in Maryland. I don't know if you're talking about the incident in Maryland and Howard County. That happened they had an incident just like that 3 weeks ago.
This was in Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay.
And anyway, the mayor of Hartford eventually fired the cop. Okay, and the police union came out and talked shit about the mayor. I mean, talked big shit about him. But to me, it was kind of obvious that they didn't have to kill the guy. Okay. And especially his sister called the police for help. And I think she's out there screaming, "Don't kill my brother," or something like that. Anyway, it's just the police can get real trigger happy. I know you guys remember the case in South Carolina, where the black guy dropped out of what was a Mercedes running, and the cop ran down.
Yeah.
Shot him.
That was like one of the first ones that jumped off the thing about cops shooting black men.
Yeah. I mean,
and matter of fact, that guy was from Baltimore, Rodney. The cop that shot him, he was originally from Baltimore.
Probably fired from police department up there, went down South Carolina and got a job.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. Let me tell you guys something. When cops get fired, or a lot of times they don't get fired, they know they're going to get fired, so they resign. Once they resign, then another agency can hire them.
Right.
Because they're going to hide their records, and they're going to say, "Okay, well, you left on your own terms, so we're going to go here," and then somebody will make an attaboy call for you, and they'll put you somewhere else. Like you might have to move a state across or something. But they do. They look out for cops like that.
But because they don't, even though they get fired, they have to actually lose their credentials per se.
Yeah.
If they don't take that away from them, they can be hired somewhere else.
And here's another thing that people don't know. There was under the Biden administration a do not hire list for agencies to know which cops not to hire because they all been fired for either police brutality, excessive force, racist incidents similar to what you had described earlier. And Trump got rid of the list. It's the reason why all them guys ICE walking around with masks on, because some agency going to see him and say, we fired the son of a bitch, and he has no business being a cop again because he was on that list. Trump got rid of the list. That's why all these guys walking around, because none of these, most of them guys from ICE, and they hired 10,000 cops in a matter of a few months. Then people wasn't even screened. All they knew were former cops or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's
No
go.
training.
Yeah, no
training, nothing.
You know, they gave him a 15-minute academy or something and put him right back out there. And they knew that these guys would do what they want because they had been out of work. They started these guys off at $100,000 a year for a salary, which is unbelievable for a cop, because most agencies are starting around between $60,000-$70,000 depending on what kind of money that the city or whatever guy have. So all of these guys just jumped on ICE and they were snapped up just like that. Because they didn't do no background checks. They didn't. They didn't look at any records. All they did was, all right, we got our police force out here, and they're gonna do what we want them to do. Because I can tell you right now, all of these cops, the ones like in Minnesota and all these other people down in ICE control, none of these people are being prosecuted. They're not. They're not being prosecuted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
well,
it's a shame what's really going on. And what happens is it makes the good cops and the cops that's doing stuff legally and by the rules and by the book, it makes them look bad. It puts everybody in the same, boat or whatever as the bad cops. Because you try to out here do the right thing and police the right way and treat people the way they're supposed to be treated. And that's one thing I always tell everybody. When I was a cop for 44 years, I said, the main thing that I did or wanted to do was treat people the same way I want my family members to be treated. Because I'll give you an example. If I get stopped by the cop and I'm working, and then I could always, pull out my ID, hey, I'm an officer, whatever, and then they'll give me, they'll give me my little, all right, police courtesy, whatever. All right, officer, you good? But if somebody stopped my brother or somebody stopped my cousin or somebody stopped my sister or something like that, they're not getting none of that, So they'll get treated like some thug or whatever, and then they out there making their numbers and their quotas. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of quotas and numbers, and all right, we want you to have 10 arrests a month. We don't care how you get them, but have 10 arrests by the end of the month. And I was told that many a time during my career, that kind of stuff. So,
okay,
it was a numbers thing. We had a mayor in Baltimore in the early 2000s. His name was Martin O'Malley. And he started out, he was the mayor of Baltimore, then he became governor. But he played the numbers game. He did. The first year he was mayor of Baltimore City, the arrests for the entire city of Baltimore went from about 20,000 to over 100,000. And they were just locking people up for anything because his mindset was, and he had that same mindset they had in New York, like with Giuliani. You lock them up for the small things, and then the big crimes will stop. So that's what they did. And you're sitting on the steps. You say you loitering. You're sitting on your own personal steps. You come back, police just grab your statue and lock you up. You're loitering. You aren't loitering. You're sitting on your own property. But that's what they did. Now, they didn't care about the cases getting dismissed in court because I would say about 90% of them got dismissed. But they was bringing in the numbers. They could say, all right, well, look at what we're doing. We're fighting crime. Our arrests went up from 20,000 to 100,000, but 80,000 people got arrested for nothing.
So that what you guys said earlier about the police going from town to town. The guy in Delaware, after they fired him in Dover, he had a friend over in Maryland that referred him for the position that he got, and they hid all on the background information check and all of that. They made sure that didn't come up in the hiring process.
Yeah, that's why they tell them to resign so you can go somewhere else and get hired. and I don't know if you guys remember. This was recent. It was a guy. I can't remember exactly where it was. He shot a woman because she had a pot of hot water, and then
Oh
she
yeah,
said
yeah,
something
yeah.
about "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." He put a bullet right in her head.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that was.
He had been fired from another agency, and in his files they told him he is unfit to be a police officer and do not hire him. He got hired anyway by another agency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
I
saw
think
that.
that was Dallas.
Yeah, I think it was too.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
I think it was. I think it was Dallas. But yeah,
Mm.
he ended up getting slammed
Oh yeah,
again.
he's in jail now.
Yeah.
He should have been in jail.
Yeah. Yeah, he apologized for some reason. Yep.
That's like the chick killed a boy talking about he was in her apartment in Dallas.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
wrong floor.
Yeah, wrong floor. Yeah, that's that. That's what that cocaine do, man. I mean, not that I ever did cocaine, you know.
Yeah.
That's what it
I
do.
was gonna say, Ed, tell us about it. You got that experience, brother?
That's
I
what
can
it
tell
do.
you one even worse,
It's-
and you can even look this up on YouTube. It was a
Mm.
police officer. Her name was Betty Shelby. Okay, a guy had stopped his car in the middle of the street. He was having some kind of emotional issue. The dude had his hands up, and then there was a helicopter flying above, and then it was a couple of other cops. So she told him to walk with his hands up. She put a bullet in him and killed the guy, and it was all on video. And then no other cop fired a shot but her, and they let her off. They let
Mm.
her off.
Mm,
But
mm, mm.
if you just Google Betty Shelby, you're gonna see what she did.
Wow.
And then after that, they let her come back and be a police trainer to tell her, you know, what to do and what to say. You know, I'm a fear my life and I'm fear my safety. That's always the famous words that
Yeah.
cops use. You know, so what is your level of fear? If you're in that much fear and you don't see a weapon, then you shouldn't be a police officer anyway.
Yeah. Wow. Mm. Well, look, today was Taco Tuesday. I want to ask Colonel Jordan, what do you think is going on, Colonel, with this with your boy, man, and Pete, old drunk ass Pete. Now they done went over there and tore the damn country up. Say they done took care of the Navy, neutralized the Army, Air Force, all of this. But they begging them to open up the Straits of Hormuz. What's going on, man? Is this another a big grift? Seems like to me this is all some kind of a plan that we just really don't know about. Because I know Trump is an oil man. Because he hate windmills, he hate solar energy. He's a fossil fuel man. So tell me what's going on, man. What do you think?
Well, Chess, I don't really know what happened last night. I thought of a old term that I heard when I was much younger. It seems like the man is selling wolf tickets.
Well, we know that's for damn sure.
And I mean, he was. I looked at a news conference this morning, last week, when he thought he had conquered everything. He strode out there his own self with the guy from the CIA and Hegseth and Kane,
Mm-hmm.
talking all that. But after he turned to what he became a taco.
Mm-hmm.
8 o'clock last night.
Mm-hmm.
This morning he didn't come striding out there. He sent Hegseth out there and Kane. I'm saying to myself, I'm saying to myself, you talked all that stuff last week,
Mm-hmm.
and now you send them out to lie for you.
Right.
And Hegseth, see, all we getting is a bunch of falsehoods. We're negotiating with the with the Iranians, and they have opened up the straits. We had two real estate men, Witkoff and Kushner, supposed to be negotiating a big treaty, and they gave the Iranians a 14-point proposal. I mean 15-point proposal, which the Iranians threw in the trash. Put that on burn detail. The burn that went the burn sack,
Mm-hmm.
and they passed on to us a 10-point proposal from their side, which we accepted. Now, this is like saying, I'm trying to take your shoes, Chester, and you whipped me bad. And then we stop fighting and you give me your shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense, man.
Mm-mm.
So you know, all I could think about this week was a Blood, Sweat, and Tears song was "What Goes Up Must Come Down."
Mm-hmm.
And so you talk all that stuff,
spinning wheels,
turning round and round. Yeah. so they have misled the American public tremendously. There are few voices that are finally telling the truth. One of them is General Hertling. Another one is Barry McCaffrey has been truthful. Some of your representatives, like that veterans, have told the truth. But man, to listen to reports from the White House or his supporters, all we getting is a bunch of stuff. 95% of the Iranians are against the regime. If that was true, the same thing that happened in the Philippines would be happening in Iran now. The people would stand in front of the army and say, "Kill me, kill your mama, kill your daddy." No. What did they do? Last night they went around, they circle the power plants.
Mm-hmm.
So if you dropped a bomb on them, you'd be killing innocent civilians committing a war crime.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not getting the truth about it. Certain people are telling us the truth. The biggest thing that bothers me is, why does he parade Dan Kane out there, General Kane? General Kane is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, principal advisor to the president and the Secretary of Defense. He has no operational command authority. The man who has the operational authority for what's going on in Iran is the sink of CENTCOM, Admiral Cooper. Admiral Cooper should be the person who's giving the briefings about what's operationally happening in Iran. Isn't that what Petraeus did when he was CENTCOM commander?
Mm-hmm.
And that what Schwarzkopf did when he was CENTCOM commander for Desert One? Colin Powell wasn't saying nothing. It was Schwarzkopf. But now all of a sudden we have this thing of the man who has no operational command.
That's because he telling them it ain't what you should be doing. That's why he's not out there, and he can't get rid of them because it's gonna look too bad, right? So, and that's what he's doing. He's telling them and he told the truth in that one news conference when the person asked him, was anybody against it? He said, yeah, but not these two, right? He said, yeah, but not these two. So somebody's telling him, no, what you're doing is not right. And he don't want them out there because he wants to hear, what he wants to hear. And besides, we ain't got, he already polling a great in Venezuela. So he gonna go over there and be the president because it ain't gonna take him long to learn Spanish.
Well, he already said he gonna probably that's where he probably go and
Yeah,
run
exactly.
once he leave here.
And he's good with language, so it ain't gonna take him long
Nope, that's
to
what he
learn
said.
Spanish.
That's what he
But
said.
but what these
You
guys
you can't even breathe. How the hell you gonna learn something?
what these guys are showing the rest of the world is how it really is important to have some level of experience. These guys are in an arena where they cannot compete. They don't have any concept of anything that, like the biggest thing is when you go to war, you got planners and this and that, and you plan on events happening. This is going to happen. So you try to counter, you know, these guys just wake up in the morning. Yeah, we're going to get in the car and this is what we're going to do because they can't stop us. We got jets. You see them big old nice jets we got? you,
Mm-hmm.
you got to listen to how they talk. And what I listen to, a lot of times I don't give a damn what he says. I'm watching what everybody's doing. And Kane realized if he didn't, he does now. His dumb ass is a puppet. He needed
Mm-hmm.
somebody with a face, a white face with some stars on, to get in front of the camera. Kane is way out of his depth. You
Mm-hmm.
can see it in his eyes when he approached the microphone. He's reading from a PowerPoint slide. He don't have
Mm-hmm.
a clue as far as experience. But
Well,
what I go on is, for instance, with Trump, 2 weeks. Everything is 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You know,
Yeah.
who in the hell starts a war and then say the meat of the battle? I'm not gonna tell you what we're gonna do, but I'm gonna tell you it's gonna start at 8 o'clock. Like the party starts at 8 o'clock. So who does that?
You see
Mm-hmm.
the thing where
That
he
is that
just
is nowhere in no academy books.
you see
No
where
no
he
war college or anybody is gonna teach you that kind of stupid shit where you're gonna talk about, yeah, we're gonna start bombing around 8.
yeah, that's the
You know what
same
I'm
thing
saying?
when he was talking
No,
about
the hell?
what kind of ammo and bombs they was using. He was getting ready to tell that, and he's like, "Oh," then somebody told him, "Yo, shut your ass up."
He told it anyway.
I mean, eventually, yeah, but they told him shut his ass up. Yeah, I can't talk about that.
well,
But the
Mm-hmm.
most the most see, they was all celebrating picking up the pilot, right? But if you listen to the rhetoric that they put out,
well,
so you got a pilot down, right? You need 155 aircrafts
Yeah.
to rescue a pilot that's hiding.
well,
Mm-hmm.
well, well, well,
You
well,
know what I'm saying? You know how many people would have been killed had they had 155 different aircrafts on scene?
the, the, the big thing about that is that they said that they had dominance of the air, control all the air
Yep.
over Iran. They could do what they wanted to do. You know, they lost. They lost some airplanes in that.
Yeah.
They lost. Now, what got me about it was the idea that we do not know how to do those rescues. They
Right.
did them all in Vietnam.
Yes.
Kane was wrong when he said A7 was Sandy. No, it wasn't an A7. It was an A1 Sky Raider. That
Mm-hmm.
was Sandy. And you had an H-53 Jolly Green Giant.
Yep.
And they saved a lot of people. Some they couldn't save, but they saved a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But all of these airplanes, man, they had they lost two C-130s.
Yeah, they did.
Right. Yeah.
We had to blow them up because they couldn't get out of the sand.
Mm-hmm.
That in itself shows poor planning. You're gonna land at a place that you can't take off from.
Right.
And that's what I said the last time. Like they go out there, and they don't have an end game. They do no reconnaissance or anything. They don't have an end game. Only thing they want to do is go in there. You know how you got that big guy in the neighborhood. He just big, right? Can't fight nothing, but he big and people scared of him. To
Right.
that little dude come in and be like, and he go push him around because he done everybody else scared of him. And when that little dude knocked the hell out of him, and everybody see he ain't got nothing going on, right? Now they pick on him. That's what they do. They just want to go in there. They want to be that big guy and go in there and talk about what they can do and how they gonna do it, right? Yo, these Iranians like, okay, but do what you gotta do, because we gonna do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
We sending our young men over there, young men and women, to lose their lives for what? Please explain to us why we over there. We would, and if you're gonna say it's the oil or Hormuz, whatever it is, that was already going on.
Well,
People were moving through there night and day.
well, news.
We getting oil from everywhere.
Some of the news reports out now are saying that he was tricked into doing that to go in with the Prime Minister of Israel.
Yep.
And in fact, even with this ceasefire plan, Israel is still bombing.
He said that don't apply to Israel.
Lebanon. In Vietnam, we weren't successful in Vietnam, and we had over 500,000 troops there. Somebody asked me, what did I think it would take to turn North Vietnam into what we wanted it to be? And I thought general mobilization of all military in the U.S. and about 1 million men and 25 to 50 years of occupation. Now, you got 92 million people over in Iran, and they talking about regime change. That's laughable.
Yeah.
And talking about people against the regime. Man was on television. I got tired of hearing a man on television claiming that the people would support that. And you know what? He was a person who left there because he was a Christian. The majority of the people in Iran are Muslims, Islamic, practice the Islamic faith. And you're going to tell me that a Christian, you're going to go on what a Iranian Christian is telling you? That man don't. A lot of the information, first of all, intelligence is very important to mission success. It helps you build a viable plan. But if you don't even listen to it, you're in deep kimchi. Kane was told the president that what he was thinking about was a bad idea, but if you decide to do it, I'll go along with it.
Yeah, how about that?
That's crazy. That's like you being out with me on the boat, and I'm telling you, Chester, it's gonna be gale warning out there. And you tell me, well, Bill, I don't think it's a good idea to go out there, but if you decide to go out there, I'm going with you.
Yeah.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
What I thought was, it's like the old grandparent telling the grandson, if that dumbass boy jump off that bridge, you gonna jump too?
Well, you're gonna jump too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you said that boy ain't got the sense he was born with. And that's Trump.
Well, you gotta be. Hey, Ron, you got one thing wrong. His mama knew he didn't have no sense, and she knew he wasn't born with none. So you can't have something that you didn't have at birth. You ain't gonna have it now.
He said he's smarter than all the generals. He said, I know more than they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that 1 million times.
Yeah, he's smarter than everybody.
What I want to know is how come Jared Kushner is doing all the making all the deals? Where's Marco Rubio? Ain't he Secretary of State? Who made Jared Kushner Secretary of State?
His father-in-law.
Yeah.
He can't even pass the background check. The first time he was in the Trump administration, he couldn't pass the background check.
Little Marco is doing what little Marco do.
Kiss ass.
Keep his lips puckered up.
You ever see the look on Jared Kushner's face? Jared Kushner, most days, he's looking like, what language are they speaking? Because that's the look that he got on his face. Like, I don't know what the hell they talking about. I can't wait for this to be over.
Yeah.
Now, any fool know you can't have them two dummies negotiating with no experience, and all these things work on partnership. And that's what they tried to tell this fool about NATO. We may not be able to go to Iran and sit at the conference table, but there's other people in the region that have that ability, and those are the people that you use as a proxy to get back channels going and different things. But these guys are so blatant with their stupidity. They think that everybody's afraid of them. Number one, Trump like, we don't need nobody. We don't need that anyway. We got our own. People like, yeah, we got our own. Fool, are you getting any? Have they sent any to your house? You listening to that stupid shit? We got plenty of oil.
Yeah.
Where is it? But it's like I said, people got to understand. You got to watch the movement, because they just had another incident today where when he backed off again, somebody else tried to put a stock bid in for another $20 billion buy. So these guys are everybody's saying it on TV, but nobody's hardly listening about how he's trying to manipulate the market by saying what he's going to do. Well, we're going to bomb them. And then when you see how the market react, we're not going to bomb them.
Because they're making money.
They're making money.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're making big money.
First of all, how you going to bomb somebody? You listen to what this fool says. Oh, we're going to bomb them out of the Stone Ages and back to the... What? What?
Right.
Stones? What the hell's wrong with you?
Back to the Stone Ages.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. Netanyahu...
They ain't got to go far, because, the Ramparts was out there in 1776, right? The Ramparts, they took over airports in 1776. So it ain't far they got to go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just, listen, George Washington was on a boat with no damn motor, but they had airplanes, and they took over airports.
That's what Trump said.
Figure that one out for me. This mother crossed the Delaware with oars, but they had airplanes, and they took over airports. Man, listen, man. I don't give a damn what nobody say, how they feel about this cat. Nothing. I hope they don't help their kids with no homework. No. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let me ask you guys this. What happens when the United States do get a so-called agreement, and then that knucklehead Netanyahu go blow some more shit up, and then Trump can't control it, and then all of a sudden the whole treaty falls apart? Because that's what's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
BB is a loose cannon. He's won war in Iran for the last 40 years.
Yes, sir.
If they get it stopped, you think BB going to let it be stopped? He's going to go over there and blow some more shit up.
Well, the whole, he miscalculated, because the Iranians are never going to strike a deal with Trump. They own Trump. Why is they going to strike a deal? They struck a deal with Obama because they felt that he was reasonable. It was somebody they could deal with. But they know this guy is a clown. They're not going to strike no damn deal.
They had a deal. The Strait of Hormuz was open. Trump went in there. He was so jealous that Obama had an agreement. He tore it up.
Yeah, but I'm saying...
And then try to get the same agreement back.
This fool is agreeing to something that was open to the world, and now they want to put a toll on it. You got to pay to go. How can he agree to that for the rest of the world?
Right, exactly.
He don't run the whole world.
Well, he think he does.
That's not going to happen. If you look at that as far as an agreement, we can agree. You can't agree on that shit because you can't speak for the rest of the world.
He's got God powers, man. I don't understand it.
How come BB ain't sending no troops to the Strait of Hormuz to keep it open?
Because he's too busy killing them in Gaza.
In Lebanon.
Netanyahu he's a killer, man.
Yeah.
And he's doing it all so he don't go to jail.
No, he's a shit stirrer. He got Trump was the only one dumb enough to do what he talked him into doing, and then he started the war. Then he went and started his own war somewhere else and left Trump out there to fucking grab his dick.
But what you're not supposed to remember, you're not supposed to remember the fact that Jared and this other clown that he's with right now, they struck a deal with Israel and the Palestinians, and Trump was supposed to get a Nobel Peace Prize because he solved the whole problem, and they never stopped killing those people. They never had a damn deal. Every deal, Trump, first of all, people don't understand that everything comes out of his mouth is a deal. The world don't work like that.
Listen.
He wants you to believe he know how to cut deals. I know I'm a businessman. You know, it's like that. What's that old rap record? I'm a businessman.
Listen, we one person short of how many wars he stopped.
He said 8.
It's only 7 of us on. It's only 7 of us on here. So
can anybody name a war?
We got a peace prize. We got a peace prize in waiting.
Yeah.
Somebody name them wars that he stopped.
That one.
I can't name one.
This one, that one. Whatchamacallit.
Not only that, these fools in the Congress. The Congress is standing by and they on vacation. The country's at war. They on vacation. That just tells you what kind of trouble we're in as a country, because these guys, all they care about is position, the title of being a representative or a senator or whatever the hell they are. But the rest of the country can burn the hell up as long as they maintain their positions.
Right.
But,
who do you think is making the money when all of these fluctuations in the stock market? It's the congressman. Because they know what Trump gonna say the day before he say it. So they putting their money here, or then they're gonna pull their money out, then they're gonna put it over here. It's a big racket going on.
Hey, this fool said, we got 50 states. We can't afford to take care of everybody. That's a lot of states. 50 states. And oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We can't afford to take care of all them churn.
That goddamn Elmer Fudd, man. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me.
Yeah. But he wants all that money for his war machine.
We can't take care of all them churn.
No.
All them churn. Yeah.
Well, his son making money off of drones. Both of them.
Well,
listen, Dumb and Dumber. When Dumb and Dumber go down, it's gonna be, boy. Listen, you want to talk about some kicking and scratching?
But look, the classic photo of a family image that I'm always gonna have is when Trump was in New York when Letitia was all up in his ass. He came out to do his little press conferences, right? The other boy was standing there. First of all, why, if it's my dad, why am I behind the velvet rope with everybody else? Right? And number 2, Trump come walking out to go to the microphone. The boy looking at him like, in his mind, he talking through his mind like, hey, daddy. You gotta be kidding me. That's my daddy right there. That's my daddy. Y'all don't know that's my daddy. It's like this boy looking at him like, man, at least acknowledge the boy. Point your finger at him or something.
Man, he don't like none of them cheering, man.
Nah, man, they just in the way.
And the only reason Barron get a little bit is because
his mama.
She got to make sure he all right, because I don't care what nobody say. The boy got Asperger's.
Autism or something.
The boy, he ain't got autism because he's low function. That boy got some Asperger's, though. In the first term, that boy was about 4'8". That mug is 7'9" right now.
I told you.
That mug is 7'9", Ron. Hey, look.
They can't play no basketball.
Man, listen. That joker don't even know how to walk.
If he was a brother, right, they say he got all that height. He can't play no basketball.
He don't even play no basketball.
No ball at all.
Y'all know about this? Y'all know about this poly market thing, man?
The who?
The poly market. Where you can go on and make a bet on anything. Anything that's going on in the world.
Yeah, I heard about it, but nah, I don't know nothing about it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Well, Donald Trump Jr. is he's on the advisory board. So you know what that means.
Yeah.
This is a Trump thing, right?
Hey, listen.
Now before that F-15 weapons officer was found, he came online and made a bet on if they was gonna find him or not.